Welcome back to Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, The Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, all my artists, creatives, crafters, and makers. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab, and welcome to the next week of our Index Card Art series, where we explore a word prompt and use our index cards to create a little work of art that we will collect throughout the year. And at the end of this year, we'll have 52 little works of art, a mini art collection that we can exchange with our fellow creatives, use to create other artworks from, or cards, or add to our scrapbooks and journals, and maybe use as journaling cards, or we can just display them in our homes as the works of art that they are. All right, and so before we start on this week's word, I just want to share with you the last two that we did. Well, I did this one on camera. So we had the word creative. Oh, good gosh. So we had the word creative, in which I used a magazine image that I pulled from a magazine, some glaze, and some materials, scrap materials around to create this inspiration. And then the word abundance, for the word abundance, I built a home out of love, because love is obviously something that I have an abundance of, and I receive an abundance of. So now moving on to this week's word prompt. And obviously there's 8 other ones before that, but if you would like to go back to the start of this series, there'll be a card up in the corner that you can click, and it'll take you to the playlist, and you can start from the beginning or wherever you want. And you're free to join us and share your works over in the Maker Exchange, which is our Facebook community that is all things creative. Now, this week's word is the word beloved. Okay. It's pronounced beloved. I've also heard it pronounced beloved. Okay. And the adjective definition is dearly loved. And the noun definition is a much loved person. So, I don't think it takes much emotion or thought to conjure up an inspiration for this week's word prompt and for this week's word art. For me, beloved, going back to last week's, love is something that, like I said, there's an abundance of it. It's something that is promised to the world. I am dearly loved, if by no one else but my Creator. So that's something that I wake up knowing every day. But I have people in my life that are truly beloved. I love them, and they are loved by many. Okay. One is my aunt. And in last week's Sip and Share, which I'll put a card up in the corner, I shared with you a couple of photos of the trip that I took back to New York, in which I and one of my siblings, we spent the weekend just loving on her and showering her with affection. We crafted that weekend, cooked, karaoke'd, and she's always been someone who I am close to and who is close to me. She's actually my best friend. At this point in my life, I can tell her pretty much anything. Now, 20 years ago, there was quite a few things that I was, holding on and keeping in the closet, because no parent, and she serves as a parent in my mother's absence, but no parent wants to hear about all the shenanigans that their kids get into. In hindsight and in years to come, it might be all right, but at the time you worry too much. So in this day and age, and at this point in time, my beloved aunt, I share virtually everything in my life with. She knows about any obstacle that I'm facing, but she also knows about my successes and the highs of my life. So this is again, I'm going to probably just do something based on her. It'll be inspired by her. You may not actually see her in the work. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do, but I'm going to allow that to be my inspiration, my point of inspiration, because she is the one person that I know that is beloved by many. All right. So I am not going to take up too much of your time. I'm going to put the rest of this in time lapse and speed or put some music over it. So at this point, for those who are new to the channel, now's a great time to go ahead and hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you can follow along in the series, in addition to the other mixed media art type series and videos that are uploaded regularly on the channel. And for those who are returning subscribers, thanks so much for coming back. I truly do appreciate you. And I thank you guys for coming along on this creative journey. Your comments and your feedback are invaluable to me. So now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and grab some supplies. You guys pause it. You go out and do the same, because when I come back, we're getting right to the thing, okay? Stay tuned. Okay, so I love the way that this came out. Now, as I said before, I was going to do a little tribute to my favorite person, my auntie. That's what we call her, auntie. And so what I did was I stenciled the back. Well, first I collaged using some coffee dye papers and some scrap papers, as I normally do. Just grabbing, pulling from what I have just to make it quicker. And then I printed her out, fussy cut her, just darkened the edges so that she could stand out a little bit. And then I took some clusters that I've made here on the channel and added a little bit of paper back there just so that she wouldn't be like standing completely, just to help her blend with the page, with the card. And then I popped the word beloved up on some textured paper. What is it called? It's not fabric, but it has a texture to it, and I think I watercolor painted. I used the last bits of some watercolor, mopped up the watercolor paint with the back of it, and so that's what that blue, I brought that blue in to go along with that blue there. So and then in this cluster is just some scrap fabrics that I've used and some scrap papers. So I think it came out really lovely. I'm excited to keep moving on in the series. Now, if you have not already started working with me or just playing along with me, I should say, because nobody's getting paid to do any of this. But if you haven't started and you want to start back from the beginning, there'll be a card up in the corner, as well as a playlist down in the description box, so that you can head on over and pick up wherever you want to. But so far I'm on 11. I'll be doing number 12 next, and I think that's water. So stay tuned for that. And listen, until we're back here together on YouTube and Patreon, my friends, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafty. Bye for now. Give y'all a close up. Our girl here. Oh, she is. She truly is. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community, and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.